you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Sasha. So much has changed in the past 2.5 years since I last posted flows on here, but I'm so excited to move with you guys 15-minute hip mobility and strengthening flow. So if you are someone who is an athlete, if you're someone who sits a lot, if you're simply looking for a creative way to really create functional strength and openness in that part of the body, you're in the right place. Let's get to the mat. So we're gonna start this flow out with 90-90 switches. You can walk your feet about hip width distance or a little bit wider than the mat. And you're gonna plant your hands behind you, find a tall seat, and we're just gently gonna allow the knees to drop side to side. So the goal here is to really find full internal and external rotation on each side, letting the knees fall, and then letting them fall to the other side. And we're gonna do this a few times. Rue might come in here. We're gonna do this a few times, and eventually we're gonna let the knees fall over towards the right. So I'm gonna set up towards the right. And we're gonna create a really nice parallel shape with your right shin, right knee in line with the right hip, and then your left knee is gonna be just outside of the left hip. A lot of times the ankle wants to kind of like cheat its way in. We're gonna keep that out. You're gonna take an inhale here, lengthen through the spine. And then on your exhale, you're gonna fold over the right shin and pause about an inch down. We're gonna do this 3 more times. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale as you lower towards the right shin. Keeping the spine really straight. Inhale here, and then exhale as you soften, sending your exhales into the outside of the right hip. One more round of breath like that. Inhale here, and exhale as you fold over the right shin. Pause here. We're gonna go back up. So I want you to take an inhale. On your exhale, press through the shin. We're gonna bring the shoulders to stack all the way over the hips. So we're gonna go through that active range. Inhale here. Exhale as you lower down. Pressing through the shin. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, lower all the way down. Beautiful. One more time like that. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, lower all the way to that diagonal position. Beautiful. We're gonna open up and we're gonna flow through that on the other side. Plant the left hand, we're gonna allow the knees to drop over towards the left, and we're setting up in that same 90-90 shape towards the left. Left shin parallel, left knee in line with left hip, right knee in line, and usually I need to scoot my ankle out a little bit there. You're gonna take an inhale here, and then exhale, slowly hinge forward. We're gonna make our way down. This side feels a lot different. Inhale to lengthen. Then exhale as you lower, really sending breath into the outside of the left hip. 2 more rounds of breath here. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, lower down. 1 more round of breath like that. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, lower. Beautiful. Kind of marinate in the outside of the left hip. Feel it talking to you. And then we're going to reverse that. Go back up. Use the strength of the inner thigh. Rise here. We're going to take 3 of those bends. Inhale to prepare. Exhale as you hinge forward. Inhale, rise back up. And then exhale as you lower down. 1 more round like that. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, lower all the way back down. Beautiful. We're gonna move into those 90-90 switches. So once you reach your hands out in front of you, we're gonna use the strength of the core to open both knees towards the ceiling and drop your knees back over towards the right. You might move around on the mat a little bit. Inhale as you lower. Exhale, rise back up. Knitting this together. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, knees drop towards the left. Inhale, lower. Exhale, press back up. Inhale, come through center. And exhale, drop the knees towards the right. 1 more time. Inhale as you lower. Exhale as you rise back up. Inhale through center. Exhale, knees drop to the left. Last round. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale, come back up through center. Beautiful. And we're gonna stay here towards the left. I want you to bring your focus into the right heel, and we're gonna start to open up towards the right. So I want you to anchor through the right heel, send your right knee as high as you can, high Roo, and then lower it back down. 3 more rounds like that. Inhale, open, squeeze at that end range of motion, and then exhale, lower it back down. 1 more round of breath like that. Inhale, open, and exhale, lower down. Beautiful. Now we're gonna be getting into your glute med. I want you to focus on your right heel, and we're gonna try to lift this right heel up off the ground. So take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift the right heel. It's a tiny movement. We're just gonna pulse there. We're gonna breathe here for 3. Lifting up and out, you're here for 2. One more breath, and then lower back down. Beautiful. We're gonna take your right foot long so that it is extended down the long ways of your mat. And we're gonna take an inhale, just lengthening out over the right leg, and then gentle fold over the right leg. Bring a little bend into the knee. Try to bring the rib cage towards the top of the thigh and tuck the chin in, allowing your spine to find that gentle curvature. Breathing into the back of the hamstring. Awesome. We're gonna flow through everything on the other side. So as you're ready, we're gonna open your right leg behind you, knees come up towards the ceiling, and hips fall over, knees fall over towards the right. Setting up here. Everything is set and ready to go. All right, we're gonna take an inhale here. And then as you're ready, on your exhale, start to open your left knee. Inhale as you lower. Exhale, open your knee up to the side. Beautiful. One more round of movement like that. Inhale as you prepare. Exhale, open. Squeeze. Lower back down. Now your focus is going to come into your heel. Our goal is to lift the heel up off the ground using the outer strength of the left glute. So as you're ready, we're going to go through a few rounds. Squeezing through the outside of the glute. Lower it back down. 2 more rounds like that. Lift up and squeeze. Optional hold and pulse, or you can take these slower lowers. We're going to do one more. Squeeze at the top. Find that end range of motion. And then exhale, lower back down. Beautiful. Sweep that left leg around. We're going to fold gently over the left leg. Feel free to bring a little bend into the hamstring, or sorry, into the knee, so you can access the low back as well. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale as you allow yourself to melt over the thigh. One more round of breath like that. Inhale here and exhale as you fold. Beautiful. We're going to transition into a tabletop position and bring your big toes to touch. Send your hips back. Find child's pose. Allowing yourself to sink in, kind of marinating in all that work you've already done. Your knees can be as wide as you need. Coming up through tabletop position, we're going to send the left leg out to the side and take some gentle sways, sending the hips back. So we're moving from kind of a single leg tabletop into a single leg child's pose. If it feels good for you, feel free to pause at the back of the mat, breathing into the inner thigh, lengthening through the side bodies, or maybe you just continue to move. Take one more round of breath wherever you are. And then we're going to take that left foot on a journey all the way to the top of the mat. Rise up. Reach fingertips high towards the ceiling. We're in Anjaneyasana just for a moment. Hug the right hip forward, left hip back, and then hands pull to heart center. And we are going to send the left knee forward in space. We're keeping the sole of the left foot solidly planted into the ground, and then using the strength of the hamstring and the right glute to draw the hip back to stack underneath the shoulders. So we press it forward, we're finding that knee and ankle mobility, and then we're drawing back. And then we're gonna start to step the foot diagonally wide. So we're gonna move through a tick-tock flow here. Every time you step, you're progressing a little bit more laterally out to the side. Eventually, as you flow through, really taking your time, you're going to meet your end range of movement. So eventually you're gonna get to a point where you feel this expansion across the groin, and you're gonna breathe here. This might be your end range of motion laterally. Give me one more breath. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale as you sink. And then we're gently going to progress our way back to the top of the mat exactly the way we went in. Stepping the foot wide, sinking the knee over the ankle, eventually coming all the way up to the top of the mat. When you arrive here, hands come to the inside of the left foot. Tuck the right toes under, and we'll find a runner's lunge, driving the soft spot of the right knee towards the ceiling, stacking left knee over left ankle, and find some gentle movement here. Moving forward and backwards, breathing into the right hip flexor. In option 1, maybe you chill here. Option 2, we're going to ground through the right hand, lift left arm towards the ceiling, find a rotation through the rib cage, inhale to lengthen, exhale as you wrap the right rib cage underneath you, finding your low lunge twist. Option 2, you stay here. Option 3, left elbow comes behind the head, inhale here. On your exhale, drop your right knee to the ground, reach right arm up towards the ceiling. We're gonna find this diagonal rotation, breathing into the right hip flexor. We'll flow through that, ground through the right hand. Inhale, reach left arm high. Exhale, drop right knee. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, flow through one more time. Inhale, lift, find that low lunge twist. Exhale, knee drops, hand behind ear. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale, both hands come all the way to the mat. Look forward, step forward. We're gonna find a yogi squat, heels in, toes out, sinking your hips towards your heels. 2 rounds of breath here, and then we'll flow through that little sequence on the other side. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale as you sink into your heels. Beautiful, one more round of breath like that. Inhale as you lengthen. And exhale, send it out. Fun little transition here on your in-breath. We're gonna lengthen your hips towards the ceiling, and on your exhale, allow the bowl of the pelvis to spill towards the ground. We're gonna take a little twist. Looking over your left shoulder, start to walk your hands, come up on the balls of your feet outside the left foot. We have a twist, and then we're stepping feet back, coming back to tabletop so that we can flow on this side. Right foot comes out wide, and you're gonna find your rocks from that kind of balancing tabletop into child's pose. Now again, this is your journey, your practice. So if you wanna chill back here, that's cool. Or if you wanna keep rocking, rock with it, be about it. You do you. Full breath wherever you are. Big breath here, inhale. And exhale, let it go. We're gonna look forward. We're taking this right foot on a journey all the way to the top of the mat and rising up, Anjane Asana. Ooh, my left hip is sticky. Reaching fingertips high. Find that activation, pushing the right heel in, pulling right hip back as you press left hip forward. Hands pull to heart center, and start to find those bends into the right knee. So we're driving the right knee out over the ankle. We're still active through the left glute. And then eventually we're gonna find our tick-tock flow. Sending the right knee out wide, stepping the foot laterally, progressing our way out in space. Eventually, trying to find that end range of motion, right? So as I start to progress laterally out to the side, I'm gonna pause here, sinking into the right heel. Maybe you stretch your hands out, really driving the right knee forward. And then we're gonna make our way back. With each step, you're driving the knee out over the toes. We're working on that active range of motion in the knee and the ankle. Gorge. You're gonna pause here. Hands come to the inside of the right foot. Tuck the left toes under. You have runner's lunge. And we're gonna find some rocks here. We're staying anchored through the right heel. You're pressing your left hip forward, and you have a proud chest. Breathing here for 3. Trying to send space into the front of the left hip flexor. So we're squeezing that left glute to facilitate the opening through the left hip. You're here for 2. On 1, option to stay here or twist, rotate. Option 1 is you hold in this twist. Option 2, you come with me, hand comes behind head. Inhale as you open. Exhale, lower left knee to the ground. Let's find that diagonal rotation. Inhale, lift up and out. Squeeze the right glute. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, right arm high. Let's flow through that 2 more times. Lower down. Inhale, open. Squeeze the left glute, find expansion. And then exhale, come back down. Beautiful, one more time. Inhale, open. Exhale, hand behind head. Inhale, expand up and out. And then exhale, both hands come back to center. Both feet step to the top of the mat. Allow yourself to fold forward. And then we're just gonna take a step wide to find a wide-legged forward fold. Heels out, toes in, allowing the chest to melt down towards the ground. Now, option 1 is you stay here. Option 2 might feel nice to find a variation of frog pose. Knees will come out, ankles in line with knees, sending your hips back, allowing the crown of the head to melt down. Whatever your position in, we're gonna take 2 deep rounds of breath here. Inhale in through the nose, find space. And then exhale through the mouth, let it go. One more round of breath like that, inhale. And then exhale, send it out. If you are in that frog pose, hands come underneath, tuck the toes, make your way back to a wide-legged forward fold. Everyone, inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, come to a seat. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Looking for anything on strength, on mobility, on yoga, I live at the intersection of all of those. Would love to practice with you guys soon.